The Citizens Dividend Parties Change the Direction campaign, Sunday, March 10. Last Wednesday, March 6, I went to the Community Housing Industry Association and Housing Choices event Shaping Futures, a new economic story for housing. It was excellent. Substantial expertise went into this Tri-Nation Australia, Britain and Canada report, whose mandate was, and I quote, to shake up critical thinking around the economics of housing policy. Professor Duncan McLennan from the University of Glasgow, who is a visiting professor for the University of New South Wales and an advisor to the City of Sydney, was the keynote speaker of the event, and he certainly held my attention, speaking intelligently of, among other things, perfectly inelastic supply curves for housing. He also referenced decentralisation, human capital and human utility. His solutions were mainly supply side, for example, more housing and more/better transport links. And following his excellent presentation, the panel of eminent experts discussed the future of housing policy, once again concentrating on the supply side, such as getting big super funds involved and better infrastructure. All of it was outstanding. It included addressing a great deal of complex, nuanced questions with associated complex, nuanced solutions. However, given one, so many experts are required to think so hard about these matters, two, so much money and other resources and to an ever-increasing extent are being devoted to the multitude of ad hoc projects, and yet three, matters are worsening at an accelerating pace, I think the alarm bells should be thunderous. That is, while the prevailing wisdom is the deepening social problems afflicting our society are extremely complex, requiring multitudinous nuanced responses, there is another possibility. Namely, our foundational income safety net system of minimum wages and various means-tested government benefits, combined with their non-streamlined interaction vis-a-vis the income tax system, which have been cobbled together over the last 200 years, is non-optimal. Hence, rather than treating root causes, we are mistakenly attempting to treat the symptoms. Accordingly, analogous with universal compulsory voting, liberal democracy, universal healthcare and universal education, the universal basic income, the fourth and last opportunity foundation universality cornerstone, provides a societally unifying solution that fully addresses the root cause without creating stigma. Thus, the best way to cater for people's basic needs, in this case housing, is via the demand-side solution of a universal basic income. Its myriad other benefits include solving high housing prices in the cities via encouraging people to move where rents are cheaper. It also impacts human capital in ways and to an extent similar to that of universal healthcare and universal education, because it takes away survival mode stress. And by taking the scarcity stress of people and families, it allows them to approach life in a much more civilised manner, which, for example, will massively decrease domestic violence, etc. Lastly, it projects trust as well as compassion, which are core societal unifiers. Nevertheless, the UBI is often objected to on the basis it's too difficult, it's too expensive, we can't make it happen, it's politically unacceptable. Well, that can't be right. After all, we are a 21st century, first world society. Thus, our wealth and our power to determine our own destiny is unprecedented. Another objection. The UBI is socialist. While the preoccupation with labels is unhelpful, nevertheless, the UBI, especially if it's constructed as per the Citizens Dividend Party's predominantly GST-funded version, may be described as a marriage of cooperation, i.e. socialism, and competition, i.e. capitalism. That is, it covers basic needs which will allow capitalism to fly to an even greater orbit. Thus, the UBI represents a convergence of left and right such that hand in hand our society moves forward together. Returning to the events panel, once they had finished, I asked my question. We have a single, extremely powerful tool for addressing decentralisation, increasing human capital, and solving all manner of social problems. What is your opinion of the UBI? What? They didn't quite catch on to what I'd said. I repeat it. What is your opinion of the universal basic income? Oh, well, you know, they've given up on the trials in Finland. Afterwards, I got the opportunity to speak with each of the panel, except for one, who, interestingly, in private, were all relatively enthusiastic about the UBI. So why is it the experts are so flummoxed about today's social problems? Perhaps regarding our decrepit income safety net system, they, 1, don't understand it, 2, lack confidence in challenging it, or 3, fear if they do challenge it, they will look foolish. In the case of it being tentativeness, then given the extreme suffering of so many, it cannot be allowed to stand and must be called out. In the societal services industry, both frontline workers and academics must lead. Lastly, on the whole, having attended a wide range of events, in my experience, the social services industry people do not attend each other's events. In Melbourne, over the last 12 months, I've been to many varied events and I'm yet to see even one person twice. Well, of course, these professionals are stretched for time. If they did attend each other's events, they would likely, 1, have their outlook drawn outward to more overarching multi-sector solutions, and 2, be increasingly drawn into cooperating with each other so as to achieve big picture outcomes. Meanwhile, the US presidential candidate Andrew Yang is in the process of making the UBI happen in North America. So, my question is, does Australia really have to wait for the US to lead the way?